Hey everybody, it's Angelo at earlyaccessmedia.com. Welcome to episode 40. Guess I'll call you guys early accessors. Gamers? I don't know. I can't call you bros. Somebody does that. So, I got to figure out something cool to call everybody. I'll figure out something fun eventually. But yes, welcome to episode 40. Get this out of the way in the beginning. I'm not going to do it at the end of the show this time. Check out the Patreon, patreon.com/earlyaccesspodcast, youtube.com/earlyaccesspodcast. Go like the Facebook page, Early Access Podcast on Facebook, earlyaccessmedia.com, Twitter, Early Access PC. Click through the Amazon banner on the website. You know, it helps out the website, blah, blah, blah. So let's get into it. A couple new articles on the website. I know they're not game related, but there's a really cool indie short film that came out called 1 Minute Time Machine. It's only like 5 minutes. Go check it out. It's actually a pretty well done 5 minute short. It's in the Sploid Short Film Festival. It's about a guy with a 1 minute time machine, if that did make any sense. And he's trying to not really trick a girl, but he's using it to convince a woman to fall in love with him. And it gets kind of silly. Really concise story for 5 minutes. They did a really good job. Go check that out. Also, a local girl from where I'm at, New Jersey. She's actually in North Jersey. I'm in South Jersey. But Bitter's Kiss. Her name's Chloe. Musician. Really good music. She has a great voice. Go check her out. So, listen. Give her music a chance. If you're looking for some soulful music, go check that out. Also, if you are a vapor, check out 9 South. They're another local business, I would say. They're a local business, 9 South. They're like a half an hour away from where I'm at out here. They're a vape shop. They make their own juice. It's really good. I don't have it on my table right now, but it's what I'm vaping. I'm vaping one of theirs. It's called Supernova. However, they created a new e-liquid or e-juice called I lost it that quickly. Erin Grace, and it's a special flavor that they made just to raise money for a girl, Erin Grace Campbell, who has a rare form of brain cancer. So if you go to shop9south.com, all proceeds from that juice sale, I think it's $16.99 for 30 milliliters. All those proceeds go directly to her and her family. So it's a good way to, support somebody. They're having a hard time, and you also get some good tasting juice out of it. But that's not why you guys come here, and I appreciate you for listening to me babble on about it. But back to video games. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was this thing that I actually just saw. So this was posted today. If you're listening, this was yesterday at around noon, and it was on the Examiner.com. Apparently, they have a game portion of Examiner, and apparently Epic and the studio Wildcard, who is the makers behind the game Ark Survival Evolved, have recently added modding into their game. Now, I had posted on Twitter about it. Oh, somebody had posted on Twitter about it. That's how I saw it. And the thing is, it kind of pisses me off. Not that I have a problem with the way modding works or anything like that, but it's the fact that it's a game that's in early access and it's not finished. There's still plenty of people that are complaining about things that are wrong with the game, and this studio is making a game that's ultimately coming out for PS4 and Xbox, according to their website. So Ark is coming out to the next-gen consoles. They've sold over 1 million copies. They have plenty of money. I don't know if they're implementing the paid mods, which I'm assuming they are. However, my concern is that there's going to be a bunch of people that are in the modding community that are going to try to fix problems that they're having with the game, as it stands, and then nothing stopping Wildcard from using those community mods to fix problems in their own games. I don't know how the EULA or the end user licensing agreement works for modding. I'm assuming that the company that you're making the game for has some kind of rights to it. So I doubt that they'd be completely against their rights to use anything that anybody does. So, if somebody figures out a way to maybe fix the frame rate in the game, or maybe optimize the game better, or anything like that, I just feel like it's disingenuous. Like, fix your game. Your game's not finished yet. You shouldn't be putting these tools out there for your players to make modifications to your game that's not done yet. There's other games that have done it, and I still don't agree. Maybe other people disagree with me. I just feel like with how many copies they've sold, they have the money and the resources, especially with the impending next year release of these games on the newer consoles. They already have people behind them. So work on your game. I don't think you should be relying on. I lie. I don't think they're relying on people to fix their game. I think this gives the players an opportunity to fix the problems they're having with the game, and it's early access for a reason. If the game's got problems, you need to tell the developers, and they need to fix it. Don't take it upon yourself to do it. As you can see, well, you can't see if you're listening, but I tweeted at the website Unreal and Survive the Arc, and I was like, so you're going to allow players to mod an unfinished game that's in early access? Why? Unreal Engine tweeted back at me and said, why not? Mods can have a multiplicative effect on the game. And I said, I agree for a finished title. Modding options will have the community fix problems with the game before the devs, which is what I just said. So that's where I stand. No one has tweeted back at me since. Maybe they're pushing me off because of the fact that I don't have a huge following or anything, but I stand by that statement. I think the game's not finished. It has problems. It does have a very high positivity rating on Steam. 20,000 people have reviewed it. People are head over heels for it. It's actually not everybody. So 19,000 people have reviewed it. 25% of the people are having problems with it. And they're having the same problems that everybody has been having with these kinds of games. Server issues, lag issues, hacker issues, things that are problematic with the open world survival genre. The thing is, people jump into these games and play them and review them haphazardly without taking into consideration the long term of what these games are actually for, so you end up with a very high positivity rating. You look at a game like DayZ, a lot of people really like it. However, it's a very fundamentally and mechanically broken game. They've been working on it for over a year now, maybe two. I can't remember off the top of my head. Actually, I will check. DayZ. So, yeah, okay. It's coming up on 2 years now. $35 early access game that is coming up on 2 years in development. Mostly positive. Again, around the 70% mark, 78% positive. However, it still has a slew of problems. And it doesn't look like it's anywhere close to being released, although I know it's supposed to be coming out for the new Xbox preview program. So it might be pushing in that direction eventually, but I've played enough of it, and I can tell you that game is pretty broken. Same thing with Ark. Even though people enjoy it, just like Rust, people enjoy it, those games still have problems. So I just don't understand what they need to give the modding capabilities to the community for when your game's not finished. This is something you do to prolong the game after release. This is something you do to allow players to do things that you didn't think of. Give us a finished product before you decide to give us the ability to change what you've done. have a vision and stick to it. Don't allow us to do something else. I don't know. I just think it's odd. But that's just me personally. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that are chomping at the bit to mod that game, and more power to you. I think you're going to do some cool stuff. I guarantee the community is going to do some really cool things with it. However, I think you should wait and let the developers finish the game before you start throwing things out there for them to take a look at and be like, oh, maybe this is a good idea, or oh, this is how this was fixed and it's going to save us a bunch of time. But that's again my opinion. So as with the flow of the show, what I've been playing, I played some Hearthstone today. Haven't played in a while. I listened to the Hearthstone podcast, The Angry Chicken, every week, or mostly every week. I try to keep up on what's going on in that game, even though I haven't been playing it. So I tried out the Tavern Brawl today. It was really cool. It changes every week. It's got a cool design. The rules change every week. I had a lot of fun. I built like a mage deck that just had all spells in it, and I took advantage of this week's rule mechanic, which was every time you cast a spell, you got to not cast. Every time you played a spell, you got a minion of the same cost. So that was really cool. I won 2 of the 3 games I played. I also played an arena that I've had sitting there for a few months. Those videos are on the YouTube channel. Oh, that video is on the YouTube channel if you want to go check that out. Had a lot of fun with that. The other game I played was this game called Departure, and now Departure comes out today. Not Departure. I'm sorry. Was it? I'm pretty sure it's Departure. Now I have to check my Steam page. Dispatcher. I'm sorry, Dispatcher. So, I played about 30-40 minutes of this game, but for some reason my OBS crashed and I lost the video, so I have to re-record the video. However, I can give you, a quick first impression of the game. So it's a first-person horror game. It's a lot like Alien Isolation. I didn't play Alien Isolation, but I've seen enough of it to know that it's a first-person alien game. It's a horror game. You're on a ship. It's similar. There's aliens on the ship. Similar. And this has some RPG mechanics, though. You pick the character that you are, like the type, and then you can pick from like what your job was before and why you're on this ship, and you're exploring the ship. That's all I really have. I didn't play too much of it. It is in early access, though. It's made in the Unreal Engine as well. It's really nice looking. It's got a lot of dialogue in it. So you're stealthing your way around the ship. You're trying not to get murder-faced. And it seems to have some kind of rogue-like elements to it, because you earn money, and then at the start of each playthrough you can use that money to put extra skill points into your characters, and I think you can buy items, but that's not in there yet. And they're also promising during the summertime, so within the next couple months after the release tomorrow or today, co-op, which is something interesting for this style of game. You don't see a lot of first-person horror games having co-op, especially this kind of first-person horror game where it's an atmospheric horror game. I mean, you got Left 4 Dead series and you got games like that, but a first-person RPG, like narrative horror game, you don't see a lot. This one looks really cool, though. I had a good time with it of what I played. Granted, I ran into a couple bugs. It's not completely optimized yet. Again, early access, not even released yet. So the optimization thing is pretty apparent. It's going to happen. But I had a lot of fun with it. I'm going to try to get another solid 30, 40 minutes of video up for it tomorrow, so you can have something to look at. But go check that out. It comes out tomorrow, and I think it's $10. If I remember correctly, the press kit said it was $10. So go check that out. Other than that, that's all I've been playing. So we're gonna jump into the games that I picked up. Well, that I saw that came out. So you got this game called Indie Assault. Came out yesterday. It's $10. It's early access. It's got one positive review, and it says the characters are pulled from exciting indie games and show off several of their signature moves and their distinct and visually stunning play styles. So it's a four-person Super Smash Brothers kind of game. So it's a brawl game, four-player, multiplayer, co-op. It's got like a speed-up mode, which is different. I've never really seen anything like that. It looks okay. There's a lot of these out there. Personally, just based on the art styles and the genre of the game, I would lean towards Brawlhalla for a PC brawl game. But I haven't played this yet, so I don't know how well it plays. The trailer looks pretty cool, but I have a problem with multiplayer games in early access. It's kind of hard to judge the multiplayer portion of it, and I tend to lean towards liking the multiplayer stuff a lot more. But again, personal preference, just my opinion. Alright, the next game is this game called Scraps. Scraps is also in early access, $14.99. It's getting towards that high-end portion of the price range. 18 reviews, 83%. This game is a 3D vehicle combat game where you drive around, destroy other vehicles, and you pick up their parts to keep building up your vehicle, adding new turrets and new armor parts, and upgrading how fast you go and everything like that. There's another game that just came out similar to this. I haven't played that. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, and I played that and I liked it. This looks like a less cartoony, more 3D version of that, like a more realistic version of that. 18 reviews. I'm sure people are talking about how it's almost identical to that other game, but as long as the controls well, it looks good. So as long as it controls well and the building is simple enough as you play it, I think it'll be fine. As long as it gets a following. Again, single player versions of these kind of games aren't very good, in my opinion. Alright, let's see, what is it? Hydraulic Empire. 5 reviews, 100% positive. It is $8.49, so it's 15% off right now from its $10 price tag. And it's tower defense with RPG elements. It looks like a tower defense game. Now everything has RPG elements ever since Call of Duty decided to put it in the first-person shooters. And that's where you are with that. I have no real opinion on this game. It looks fine. It's got a weird hexagonal battlefield where you place units and you place your turrets in these hexagons all over the map. Looks like you can place them anywhere, which is usually different. Most of these kind of games you can only place them in certain spots. Looks like more of a free form tower defense game. So that's interesting. It's a little bit different. But, meh. Alright, so what is this? Flesh Eaters. Flesh Eaters has 15 reviews, 80% positive, which is different because I'm pretty sure the first reviews I read when this first came out were negative. At least 1 or 2 negative reviews the day it launched, which was yesterday when I looked at it. For some reason, this shit does not want to launch reviews. So this guy was having problems with it crashing. It's typical of early access. But it's only $1. So it's $1. It's a top-down, real-time strategy zombie survival game. So you're upgrading your defenses and your weapons and your armor, and you're exploring. It's pixel art style. Looks competent. It really depends on how it controls again. But it's an early access game and it's only $1. So price point's there. If the mechanics are okay, I can bear with the fact that they're working on the game, even if some of this stuff is broken. So go support those guys because they know how to hit a price point, and it doesn't seem like a lot of people do in the early access program. Seems like a lot of people are trying to make money out of early access as opposed to finish their game in early access. I'm going to skip this game for now, but it's called Badland Bandits. It says it was released July 7th, but you can't purchase it yet. And it's a MMO steampunk game. It looks pretty cool, but it's not released yet. Alright, so the next game is called Jam G. Now this reminds me of the old school Marble Madness games. It's $9.99. It's early access. Has no reviews yet. It looks like a very simple 3D rendered, like high resolution, not high resolution, but like I don't, no background or nothing. The 3D is just very like 3D. Nothing was rendered with any real diffusion or anything. It's just like they put a, they mapped a. God, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe went to school for it too. It's like they wrap the objects in their bitmap and just lit it from one point, and it's just very like static. So it's like this ball is a stone and this thing is a brick and this is wood, but it's very just like solid. But it looks kind of cool. It's you're following you're trying to traverse like obstacles in a path with a ball. Again, if you ever played Marble Madness, where you're moving your marble through a world, trying to get to the end, that's kind of what it is, but in like a more like 3D modern day style. So it's kind of like Labyrinth, like the old Labyrinth game or the board games. If you remember what I'm talking about, where you move the two little fucking knobs and like how to move the ball around. It's kind of like that, but with its own mechanic types and different puzzles and things that you have to do to get across the map. It looks kind of neat. I don't know if it's $10 neat though. All right, let's see. Excuse me. So the last game is Grand Designer. Now this is a procedural universe generator. Has 2 positive reviews, so it's at 100%. It is fuck expensive for an early access game. It is $42.49, which is 15% off of its total of its price of $50. It allows you to create planets however the hell you want. I mean, that's it. I have to read this because I should have read this earlier, but I mean, it allows you to make planets. You can you can change all kinds of options. I can't read it, but like the water, I mean, it's super in depth. It looks really cool. I don't know what the hell you would use it for though. It's $50, and I mean, maybe you can export these for something. I don't know. Downloadable content for Grand Designer Pro. So Grand Designer Pro, this DLC kind of lets a Grand Designer at its full potential. It says it's DLC for something Grand Designer Pro, but I don't know what that is. It says it's the same thing. This content requires a base, so Grand Designer. Okay, so this game also has DLC for it. So an early access game already has a $25.49 DLC. That's a little bit crazy. Tons of options if you want to play this kind of game. I don't think it's a game. It's like a design and illustration tag that it has for the user tags. So it looks really cool. Everything looks really good. I'm not sure what it's for. I have to imagine it's for like some kind of game development or something like that. So that probably is why the price tag is so high. High level of customization, small user base, because much like textbooks in school, the reason they're so expensive is because they get replaced every year and not a lot of people buy them. So, prices reflect that. But that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Sorry if it was a little dry, and I was bitching about ARC and the modding and the early access and everything. But just go check out earlyaccessmedia.com. If I don't mention it before the next episode, which I don't think I am, the game Holy Potatoes, a weapon shop, launches in like 3 days, I think it is, or 4 days. Go check out the first look on the YouTube channel or the website. It's a really cool game where you get to play an RPG potato and you run a weapon shop. It's really neat. But that's going to do it for this episode, guys, and I will see you on Monday. You have a good weekend.